Gifts of the Gods, Dotcom Bust flashbacks, and Dr. Evil's Pinky. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by humans living in fragile equilibrium with AI for now, and brought to you by Nodisc, helping music technology and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's April 29th, 2025. I'm Lars Murray, coming to you today from the streets of Rome. It's Tech Tuesday, but before we geek out, yesterday, inspired by my trip to Pompeii, I spun up a metaphor of an unlimited supply of undifferentiated content smothering the music business. And as if by magic, or the gift of the Roman gods of antiquity, over at Digital Music News there came the report of a supply of very differentiated content excavated from ancient vaults. A new IMAX version of Pink Floyd's legendary 1972 movie Live at Pompeii that is finally about to come to the surface after long-lost footage was unearthed. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, now let's geek out. Over at Digital Music News, Ashley King is reporting that a Sydney-based radio station has been broadcasting a 100% AI-generated DJ for 6 months now. The DJ's name is Thy, T-H-Y, and if you fell in love with Thy, who has a presumably AI-generated headshot to go with her AI-generated voice, well, you might want to go back and watch the movie Her once or twice. Apparently, listeners to her mix of pop and hip-hop and AI-generated repartee didn't have a clue that Thy was a robot. The folks behind this are ARN, that's the Australian Radio Network, and 11 Labs, the AI speech purveyor. It's a landmark for 11 Labs for sure. 11 is in the process of trying to perfect AI clones for familiar voices. I have a little skin in this one personally, and let's just say unlimited supply will not be generated by 11 Labs voices in the near future. But still, if you want evidence of jobs replaced by robots, well, there you go. But never mind radio, that's in what we charitably refer to as a state of managed decline, with large numbers of Gen Zers literally not knowing how to operate a radio. They're not going to be getting their AI playlists from a fake radio personality. They'll get them directly from Spotify, which has rolled out its AI playlisting service in 40 more countries. That's only one of a few announcements Spotify has been releasing in the lead up to its earnings call today. Ashley King had the story at Digital Music News. Spotify also announced yesterday that it had paid out $100 million to podcasters in Q1, which places the per-stream monetization of podcasts in stark contrast to the per-stream monetization of music on the platform. We've been saying this for years about podcasting, though it's tempting to wave a Dr. Evil Pinky at $100 million when, doing some simple back-of-the-napkin math, YouTube likely paid out more than $5 billion in the same period to creators. It's worth noting that Spotify's podcast tail is even shorter than its music tail, though. Heck, unlimited supply would qualify to get paid if we were an artist, but we sure don't meet Spotify's podcast minimums. With that said, the day we do, Spotify will pay us better than YouTube, but I'm not staking my business on that. Jessica Testa has the rundown in the New York Times. Last week we posed the question, is infinite reality, which has recently gobbled up both Napster and more recently touchcast, more like Google or Meta in its strategic acquisition strategy, or is it more like legendary dot-com era popped balloon CMGI? Well, as if by magic or the gift of the Roman gods of antiquity, Forbes dropped a deep dive into what the heck exactly is going on over at Infinite Reality, which, by the way, is based in the tech mecca of Fairfield County, Connecticut. That deep dive from reporters Phoebe Liu and Iain Martin has the needle swinging toward more like CMGI. What they found was a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I'm not using that as a paraphrase. They literally said there's smoke and mirrors around CEO John Acunto, who has some resume issues to go with his claims of having built a $12 billion company. There may be a secret strategy to use Napster and touchcast as a lever to build an astonishing new platform, or it may be a roll-up with no core looking for a greater fool. The Forbes article is a great read, even if it causes flashbacks to the first dot-com era. And that's it for Tech Tuesday. Congrats to old friend and former Pandora colleague Mike Van for ascending from president of Billboard to CEO of Billboard. Mike's been moving and shaking things at Billboard for the past 2 years and has managed to rev up Billboard's events and content games. Some of those moves look pretty familiar to an old Pandora hand. They worked then, they work now. Keep going, Mike, and don't forget your old friends. Mike will report directly to Penske CEO Jay Penske. Support for the Unlimited Supply podcast is provided by RoyFi. If you need an advance to take your career to the next level, RoyFi has the best rates in the industry, the fairest terms, and no hidden agendas. RoyFi is mission-driven to give artists the independence they need. See if you're eligible for an advance at RoyFi. That's RoyFi.com. And by Hangout.fm. Hangout by Turntable Labs Inc. is the new social listening platform where users are bypassing the algorithms and sharing music with each other in real-time meetups, and where artists are discovering a new way to connect with their superfans. Drop in on a room right now at Hangout.fm. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.